If you're watching this video right now, then you've decided to be a patron of me for this month. So first of all, thank you very much. My entire life has depended on the support of fans like you since 2013. I've been living completely off of the money that I make from doing what I love doing, which is being creative on the internet, and it's thanks to people like you. So, first of all, thank you. Second of all, let's talk about all the stuff that you now get because you decided to pay even a small amount of money to help me out. Looking at my Patreon page, we're going to go down through the reward tiers. Now, first of all, you should have been given instant access to Discord rewards if your Discord is attached to your Patreon account. They have to be attached. It should automatically add you. There are tons of people who have problems of all different sorts for all different reasons. It's hard to know why. If for some reason you don't get added to the Discord, just shoot me a private message on Patreon. The reason I like to do everything through the Patreon private messages is that just by highlighting your name, I can see what your reward tier is. And when you go to the Discord, the way it's set up is that all the channels are only visible to people who currently have a role in the Discord, because that way people who are not patrons cannot see in, unless they've found some way to maintain their role. So yeah, you need to have a role. So if I PM you and I send you a link to the Discord, you won't automatically be able to post in there until I've given you roles. So, all you have to do is tell me what your Discord name is when you PM me. I will, then immediately give roles to your name once you show up in the server. I've done this for tons and tons of people. The Discord stuff is always finicky with Patreon. If you are pledging through New Project 2, instead of Patreon, there is not Discord connectivity yet, so just send me a private message and I'll take care of it. So next up, you will have instant access to the video archive. Wherever you're watching this, directly below this video, there should be a link to the Google Drive folder of all the archived content. So when you get in here, it's a mad mixture of stuff. I don't know if it'll look the same for you as it does for me because I own this folder, but you'll notice that there's all these reacting to SAO videos, which is from when me and my brother Victor first watched SAO all the way through together in order to make the big analytical diatribe video. So you get to see our first reactions live. A lot of people have enjoyed those. There's a bunch of videos that have been removed from YouTube for copyright. So stuff from the Pony Days, anime videos. Some of these are videos that still exist on the channel, just unedited. You have the edited version of K-On! A Loving Thesis Part 1. So if you ever wanted to see what that would have looked like with a full edit behind it, you can see that there. There's really all kinds of stuff in here. There's also written posts where I just don't think I'm ever going to end up making those videos, or some of them just straight up were not finished. But, I threw them in here because they're interesting in one way or another, or they're part of like abandoned series. So there's also this folder this document that's called Unlisted and Rare. And this actually just is links to tons of other videos that are not public anywhere. They're unlisted. They're on my channel. On various channels of mine, but you can just watch them through these links. They're not like especially meant to be hidden or anything. There's just no other way to find them other than in this particular folder. You'll also see there's the ARG that Artso Fartso was going to make surrounding Be the Beginning is explained here. And then you've got the commentary folder. And this is, in my opinion, the biggest thing that you really get out of all this, because for a very long time, me and my former editor, the Devu, we were going back through every single video that we had done and doing behind the scenes commentaries where we would watch the videos, pause, talk about either why we made certain editing decisions or correct the videos or talk about our feelings about them, what we would fix now, all kinds of stuff. We would go super in depth about all these videos. A bunch of them have been removed from Google Drive, but those ones that are uploaded in other places are listed here. I think there might be some that are still not available that I have not been able to find because these are scattered all over hard drives and stuff. I don't have an organized list of them. There are some people who have these archived who maybe have these ones and could get them to me. if I don't have them anywhere. But most of them are here. These are long as hell. Most of these are 2.5 to 3 hours long. So yeah, this will occupy you for quite some time if you decide to try to listen to all the commentaries. I think they're pretty enjoyable. Now, in addition to having access to that archive, you also, now that you are a patron, have access to everything that I've posted to Patreon itself. So if you were on the posts page here, you'll see that there are a bunch of tags. You've got the 2 weeks review. This is, if you are a $5 plus patron, you will have access to this every 2 weeks. It's a show where me and May talk about basically everything we did for the last 2 weeks and review whatever we came across. You know, lots of stuff that I don't talk about in my main videos gets discussed in these podcasts. So those are a lot of fun, usually fairly on time. But if they are more than a year old, then they are also accessible to anybody who is a $2 plus patron. So if you pledge $2 or more, you have access to a lot of these podcasts because I've been doing them for years. So the 2 weeks review, there is the current version of it, which has an exclamation point in the title, because it is currently an hour and a half plus long show. Originally, that show was 45 minutes long, and I had another podcast that came out. They alternated between each other. But the old version of the show without the exclamation point is here as well. There are 16 episodes. They're probably all available to $2 plus patrons. There's also the Digi Does Life podcast, which was basically the 2 weeks review as it is today is a fusion of what the old 2 weeks review and Digi Does Life podcasts were. Digi Does Life was just about whatever I did in my personal life, whereas 2 weeks review was originally straight up reviews of more like media or experiences. Those just kind of became one podcast eventually. So then you also have the Irrelevant Anime History podcast, only did 3 episodes, but that was originally another 45-minute podcast, and the Dead Projects Graveyard. This was a Patreon tier that I only did 3 episodes of, and it basically just, I never got around to doing more of it, and nobody was really asking me to, so I just kind of forgot about it and abandoned it. But those 3 episodes are now available to anybody who's a $5 plus patron. The first episode has already been made available to $2 plus patrons because it's a year old now, so yeah, that's another thing you can check out. You also have access to just this tag called Patron Exclusive, and this is all stuff that I've only ever posted to Patreon. This includes things like a preliminary reading of the worst anime of my childhood script, a video that I wrote a few months ago intending to edit by the end of the year, but it just kept getting pushed back, and I don't know when the hell I'm going to get it edited at this point. You have this one where I'm just analyzing like the way I produce my content. Here we have me and May talking about Netflix Ava, I think. Me have a 30-minute video about Green Day or something. A preliminary reading of my book. So I wrote this book called Fixed That For Ya. It's a pamphlet that was supposed to be just like a all-encompassing guide to fixing the world. I don't know if I will ever finish it, but I read the not fully edited version here on this blog. We have a random aborted vlog A. Digibro analyzes a low-key porn thread on A. That's a fun video. And then you have the watch-alongs. These also have their own tag, but me and May did a series of commentaries, just watch-along commentaries where you can play these old movies or OVAs and listen to us talk along with them. Some people really enjoyed those. We've done more of those on other places. We actually do each one of those in the care pack every month, but I'll talk about that in a bit. There's also these old live streams. I did a bunch of Q&A live streams with $25, I think, patrons at a time. That was an old tier. It's not a tier that exists anymore, but all of those Q&As are still here, so if you just wanted to hear me do Q&As, I enjoy sometimes listening to people do Q&As, so, they're all here. They're available to anybody $2 plus patron, I think. So, yeah, I think that's everything that's on the Patreon itself, other than, like, roundup posts. I mean, if you really wanted to go back, I used to write posts just basically explaining why I did the videos I did in a month. So, you could go back and read old text posts and stuff on the Patreon, but most of that stuff's not that interesting. This is most of what you already should have access to, depending on if you are a $1 or $2 or $5 patron. You would have access to all those things that I've shown you just now. And now we'll talk about what you need to do if you are an even higher patron. If you are on one of the rant tiers, here is how the rants work. Every month, I make a post in which I say, post your rant requests here. So there's one of these posts for each different tier, the $10, $20, $30 tier. You only get one rant per month. You don't get, if you pay $30, you don't then get a 20 and 10 rant as well. This is the only place where, you only get one rant depending on which tier you've signed up for. But the $10 rants, they cannot require me to watch any media. They have to be just basically either just an image you want me to talk about or text or just an idea, nothing that I have to actually consume. If it's a $20 rant, unless it's like less than a minute, maybe, if it's a $20 rant, then I will watch up to 30 minutes of something. And if it's a $30 rant, I will watch up to 2.5 hours of something, consume 2.5 hours. I'll spend 2.5 hours on it. If you want me to read a book, I'll read until I've spent that much time and I'll give my thoughts. But those rant tiers are, you may have noticed they're closed off. Not as many people can have them. That's just because if I spend too much time on this stuff, if enough people wanted me to do rants, I wouldn't have time to do regular content, and that would just be my job, and I don't want my job to just be doing rants. But I do enjoy doing them. The reason that the rants are released the way that they are, so once you click on this thread, you have to make your request by the 28th. That's because especially if I have to watch something for your rant, I need the time to be able to watch it and rant about it, but I want to be done with the rants before the month is over. Ideally, you're supposed to submit a rant for that month, and the rant should be out within that month. So, if you submit something last minute, I might not be able to get it out by the end of the month, so I'm just going to skip over ones that are submitted last minute. I also I want to ask you to post them in the thread, because if you send it to me via PM or some other means, the way I do these is I just go through the thread. I just read off the thread each rant, so it's much easier if they're all there. I try to find when people have sent me rants through other means, but I would much prefer if you posted it in this thread. If you can't for some reason, PM me about it. We can work through it. I'll fucking post it in the thread myself. But that's the easiest way for me to keep track of things. The rants have been behind for a lot of the second half of last year. They basically, once they got behind, it was hard to get them back. But they're not terribly behind right now. I spent a lot of December catching up on them. I'm pretty confident that they will be fine by the end of January. I don't think that there's an impossible amount that would make that too difficult for me to do, just as long as I worked on them actively throughout the month, which I intend to do. So yeah, that's what you do. If you want to request a rant, please do it in the thread. If the thread does not exist for that month yet, just wait for it to exist. I only usually do that if I'm so far behind that I don't want to open the next thread and have to deal with all the old requests, but at the same time. But yeah, just wait for the post to go up, post your rant request in the thread, and I will be doing the rants over the course of the month, and then you'll get a new rant the next month. If I didn't finish your rant, if you did one, let's say in December, I never got to it, and now it's January, and I open the new thread, request a new rant. Your old one will still be honored. Every rant that you've paid for, you are owed. If there are rants that you haven't gotten that you asked for, if you never asked, then you missed your chance. But if you asked for a rant somewhere and I never got to it, please notify me so that I can, fix that. So that's the rants. The last thing we got to talk about. Oh, also, your rants will come out on the Digibro After Dark channel, if you didn't know. This is where they get posted. I title them and thumbnail them in ways that try to make them eye-catching, because some of these rants will actually get me a lot of views. The reason that I do them each as separate videos individually is that across all of them, if they were all in one video, it's possible that one video, being as long as it was, would only get 4,000 views. These ones have the chance individually to get as many views as however many people care about that video. So if you're looking at the view counts right now, you can see they vary wildly, but some of them get way more than others. Some of them can be even fairly successful. I've got, if you were to here sort by most popular, you'll see that you only have to scroll so far before you get to a rant. So, that's why they come out this way. Anyway, if you're on New Project 2 And you, first of all, I haven't posted up all of the stuff that was in the other categories on Patreon here yet. New Project 2 is a brand new thing for me. There's years and years and years of stuff I'd have to re-upload, and it's not even fully functional right now because of the bank situation. So you'll have to be really patient with getting access to most of the rewards on here. If you want to pay for the rants, PM me through Discord or something or somewhere. Or through, I guess, New Project 2. I don't really know how the PMs on here work, if there is a system for that. But, figure out a way to contact me and I'll get you your rewards because New Project 2 is not completely sorted out yet. So anyways, the last thing to talk about is the care packs. If you pledge $40 a month, every month I send you a care pack. Now, the way these generally have worked is that I try to mail the pack out by the end of the month because I want the care pack to be relevant to the month that you paid for. So if you pay at the start of August, that means you have bought the August care pack. The August care pack will be about what I did in August, but you will receive it probably midway through September because I will send it at the very end of August. So what is a care pack? Generally, it will be an envelope like this. That'll have, addresses written on it and some kind of slogan, usually what I consider to be the title of that pack written on it. Inside will be a flash drive that has been signed, one side with a legible name and one side with an illegible name, and dropped into this bag. Now, I've switched up what I'm mailing with it over the time, but currently the formula is going to be pretty much 2 stickers. So in the last one I sent a sticker like this, the wide-faced Digibro, which is a meme on my Discord. It's not coming into focus, but whatever. And I also dropped in a "This is Garbaggio" sticker that I made. So these are designed by me, printed by me. I just cut them out and put them in here. Last time I had also sent a pen. I had these pens designed. I'm probably not going to do the pens again immediately because who needs that many pens? Most of the people on this tier stay on this tier. But if you have anything that you'd be interested in having sent to you in these care packs and you've been on the tier, let me know. I'm very open to suggestions. I've been trying to workshop this to try to add more things to the care pack and make it more varied, but it's really difficult to find time to think about that kind of thing over the course of a month. But the most interesting thing about the care pack is really not so much the physical rewards as it is the contents of the care pack, what is actually in, that is to say, what is actually contained within. So for instance, here we have the November care pack. So this one includes one very long vlog called Digi and May Do Rochester, which is just 2 hours of random footage that I took over the course of me and May taking a Thanksgiving trip to Rochester. So usually there's a vlog like that, just some kind of super long collection of clips of whatever I was doing. A lot of it is me talking into the camera because I'm not as good at incidental photography as I am at vlogging. This one also contains something called a vlog twice abandoned. So often in these care packs, I'll put in videos that I attempted to make that either failed or I just didn't like it and didn't release it even though I thought it was interesting or whatever. This is one where the camera died the first time. The first time I realized I had lost track of what I was saying and gone off topic, so I restarted. And then the second time the camera died before I hit the end, so it never got released. And then we have another just atmospheric vlog in this case. This one being about a Skybridge snow tunnel. Skybridge snow vibes. So, it'll be me and May in a car having a discussion in this particular location. This is just what happens to be in this care pack, which has a much longer vlog than usual. Usually there's 45 minutes. In fact, we could look at another care pack while we're here. The September-October care pack. This one had, this was where I tried to sort of mix up the formula and make it so that there was a more of a variety of single topic vlogs. So we had one where I'm making fun of a Game Informer holiday buyer's guide, smoking a blunt in my backyard, and we usually will do a let's watch. So, the reason that the November care pack hasn't been sent out yet is because we haven't done one for that care pack yet. But we will usually have a commentary where May and I watch a movie and we comment over it with full screen footage because it's released on a fucking flash drive. So, generally what comes in the care pack is either stuff that could not be posted on the internet because it would be taken down for, be flagged basically, or stuff that would not be posted on the internet because it's too personal, too random and irrelevant. It's, too much of a diary posting basically, or things that I think are interesting but don't want to release, but do want to show to, maybe people who would be the most interested. So there you go. That is what you have access to now that you are a patron. If you want to talk to me, if you want to see some Digibro action, you should hit up the Discord. I pretty much only hang out in the Discussing Digi Content channel. I really just want to, I'm here to talk about my own stuff with you guys and, sort of understand how people feel about the way the content is going right now. The most active board is general discussion. I don't read it. It's just a bunch of people, talking all the time. You got anime talk, music talk, video game talk, political talk. Then each of the patron tiers also has its own exclusive chat that is not really active at all. So, there's voice channels. People hang out in them sometimes. You won't find me in there. I don't do voice stuff. So, catch me in Discussing Digi Content and enjoy all the stuff you now have access to. Make sure that if something's not right, if you don't have access to something for some reason, let me know. If there's something in the archive that's listed as supposed to be in there, but it's not actually in there, let me know. I have no way of policing all of this myself, so please. And thank you again for being a patron.